I am now splitting my time between the UK and Spain, and especially in the summer months, I'm spending more time at my beautiful, wonderful home that I have just bought. And if you are new to Real Women's Stories, you can go back and listen to a lot of my previous episodes where I talk about my move to Spain, how I hit burnout just before I came, and identifying what overwhelm means and what burnout is, and how I'm transitioning over across to this wonderful, beautiful country that is going to one day be more of a permanent home for me. And I really wanted to share my personal experiences with you, with my listeners, with my community. Because if I share my experiences about making the big changes in my life, about the emotions, about the challenges that I've faced and that I'm going through, it might help you create a little bit more momentum over a change that you want to make in your life. And that it might seem overwhelming, it might seem scary, but you can do it. And I'm hoping that these episodes are giving you that support system that you might need if you haven't been on a coaching journey yourself. And if you're intrigued about going on a coaching journey, what tools and practices that I'm putting in place within the changes that I'm making so that I can, I'm not going to say the word comfortable, because we have to delve into our uncomfortable zone and get into that uncomfortable space in order to make those changes. But it will give you the confidence to know that you can make your dreams come true. You can achieve a goal that you might feel is a little bit out of that reach that you feel at the moment. So today, I'm going to be talking about some tools and practices that I've been implementing every day into my routine so that I can feel a little bit more comfortable and get used to those feelings around change and around making changes in my life. And what I've been doing is I have set myself a task that every day I'm going to be doing something new, because if we do something new, then what we're doing is we're stepping into the unknown. We're stepping into a space where we don't know what's going to happen. And that's often what stops us from making changes in our lives. So I thought, how can I implement this into my everyday life in a space where I feel comfortable? They're just small little things that I've been doing that are new. So I have been looking at ways on places where I can take my dog Cooper for a walk, because I'm in Spain, I'm in a new house, I'm on a new estate. And the first day when I got up, I thought, okay, let me have a little bit of a walk around the area and see what it's like. And what I discovered was it's pretty impossible to take my dog for a walk near my house. I have to get in the car and I have to drive places because there are no paved areas. Cooper needs a lot of green that he can sniff around. And we do have a little garden in our development, but it's not enough for him. He needs to be off the lead and he needs to run around. So I very quickly discovered that after walking him for an hour up and down some streets, which were quite hilly, this was not going to work for us. And I had to step into that unknown, because if I didn't, I would never have worked that out, right? So now I know that I need to get in my car, I need to drive. So I've been on Google Maps and I've looked at beach walks. I've driven to a familiar place where I used to live down the road, where I know that there is a space where he can walk in the shade. And I know that there's an amazing beach walk that he can walk along. And that was very familiar to me, and that was okay. But I thought, I can't do this walk every day. He's going to get bored and I'm going to get bored. So I tasked myself with finding new walks to do with my dog every day, because if I stepped into the unknown, it would then help me understand my triggers and understand my feelings more, and the process of doing something new each day, and something so simple as driving somewhere, directions, and something so simple as parking our car can create such a lot of, I'm going to say, anxiety and a little bit of overwhelm, because it's that nervous feeling that we have in our stomach. Are we going to the right place? I mean, I'm following Google Maps. I don't know about you, but when I follow Google Maps, sometimes I don't get it right. And I find it a bit confusing. Following the road, looking at a map. And I just thought, I need to get in my car and I need to take it really slowly. And I need to just get there. And when I get there, I will worry about parking, because I know that I've put off going places because of the fear of, where am I going to park my car? I'm not a great reverse parker. I've got cameras on my car now, so it's a lot easier. However, I'm in a foreign country. I'm driving my car, which is, I've got to remember it, which is a right-hand drive car on the right side of the road. And Spanish are using a left-hand drive car on the right side of the road. So all of those feelings can create barriers for me doing what I want to do and trying out new things. But I know that I've done it before, and I know that it's been okay before. And I think in the back of my mind, I was thinking, if I can't park my car, I just won't go to this place. I'll just turn around and I'll drive back again. So I almost had like an exit strategy that seemed okay. I hadn't failed. It didn't matter. I was trying it out. It was something, a new place I was going to. So as long as I could get there, if I couldn't park, I'd come back. But I did park, and there was loads of parking, and it wasn't difficult. So if I hadn't had taken that step forward, and if I hadn't had felt all those things and still pushed forward, I wouldn't have found all those lovely walks that I went on. And Cooper's much happier, and I'm much happier. And I get to experience and see new things, new places, and I get to meet new people. So taking myself out of the comfortable zone, trying something new, pushing through those feelings. And I know, look, these are just really small, new things that I'm trying because I'm in my comfort zone. But the more I experience trying new things, the easier it gets each time. Because once I get over it, I know that I'll just turn back if I can't park my car. And if I can park my car, I've got a great experience. It's really as black and white as that. We don't need to build this whole story up in our heads about feeling anxious about parking, not parking, if I'm, driving in the right direction. If I get the direction wrong, my Google Maps will just tell me where to go back again. And it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to have a perfect plan. It just needs to be simple. And I think we overcomplicate things in our minds a lot. We just strip it back and give ourselves a little process to go through, and we can have an exit strategy. If this doesn't work, then it's okay, because I tried it, and it might not have worked out, and it might work out. I also said to my husband, let's try a different restaurant. So we always have a date night at the weekend, and we've both been working all week, and he's having to fly back to the UK today. So we said, why don't we try a new restaurant? So he went on TripAdvisor, and he said, look, I found this really nice restaurant in Benavis, which is up the road. It's a lovely little village. We'd never been there before. And you know what we discovered? The most incredible boutique hotel. And not only did we discover the most incredible boutique hotel that we didn't know existed, and we've been coming along the coast for the last 15 years, 20 years, that the food was fantastic, that there is a lady that has just taken over this hotel that has got the most incredible story to tell. So she will be appearing on my podcast. And I might even be looking at running a retreat next year at the hotel, because it's perfect. It's stunning. It's beautiful. And I just got a great energy. Now, if we hadn't agreed to do new things, if we hadn't agreed. Look, we didn't know what the food was going to be like. We didn't know what the place was going to be like. And we also took a taxi there. And we didn't bring out any cash. And when the taxi driver we went to pay, he said that he doesn't take cards. So we had to ask him to come back and pick us up. But you know what? What a lovely man. What a lovely experience. What a lovely evening. Um, if we hadn't thought about doing something new, we would never have stumbled upon this beautiful, beautiful hotel, eaten a beautiful meal. I'm enjoying this challenge that I'm setting myself because I'm discovering new people, I'm discovering new things. Every single day, I am doing something new and I'm stepping into the unknown. So if I have to then deal with another big change, that change isn't going to feel so scary anymore because the feelings and emotions that come with stepping into the unknown, stepping into a space where we don't know what's going to happen. And I know these are only small things like taking my dog for a walk and going out for a meal, but the emotions are still there. The fear is still there. The sinking feeling in my tummy, the butterflies in my tummy is still there. And by doing what I'm doing, I know it's all turning out okay. And I can only see all these great positive things that are coming out of trialing out new things. So if you're thinking about navigating a change, if you're thinking about how you're feeling, if you're making excuses for not making a change, why don't you task yourself, like I have, with just doing something new? So think about what you're going to get out of doing something new every day. You're practicing being brave. You're practicing stepping into a space where it's the unknown. So think about what you're going to learn from doing something new each day, because we need to step into kind of our bravery, and we're going to start practicing feeling a bit braver, stepping into the unknown. We're going to rewire our relationship with change so it won't be something to fear, but it will be something that you can explore, that you're going to be curious about, because you know that there can be some good stuff that you're going to get out of this. So again, what I'd like you to do is just choose one small thing every week. Maybe it's a new route, like maybe it's a new coffee shop and conversation with somebody. Maybe it's going somewhere different on holiday. Maybe it's speaking to somebody who you've seen often. Maybe just give them a smile, see how that feels. Because sometimes you don't know what their reaction's going to be like, but you can actually end up having a really interesting conversation. So think about how you can sit in discomfort and use it as research and data, not that it should stop you from doing something. So if I don't feel comfortable, then I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to think about what I'm learning from the situation, as opposed to thinking, oh my God, I don't feel comfortable. I'm getting a bit panicky. What can I learn from that situation? And what changes could I make the next time that I go into that uncomfortable space? So, this episode really is about you to reflect on things that you can do, the new things that you could start implementing, the challenges that you could start implementing in your week, so that when you come to making a big change or making a big decision in your life, that you've already got used to those feelings, that you've already started to feel more powerful, and you started to trust yourself, because you know that whatever it is you're doing, you're capable of it. Because by doing small changes, those big changes won't seem so overwhelming. If you have been enjoying this series, which has been slightly different from my regular coaching episodes, because I've been taking you on a little bit of a journey, a personal journey. And for my next episode, I'm going to introduce you to my lovely husband, because I think it's really important to hear his side of the story about how he's dealt with me going through the transition and how it has affected our relationship. And has it strengthened our relationship? What challenges have we faced? What strategy did we have beforehand? So I just wanted to give you an idea of who Adam is, my husband, because he's a very big part of my life. So I won't be interviewing him as such. We'll be having a lovely chat about our journey, about how we navigated that journey out to Spain in terms of our relationship, in terms of the challenges, in terms of what he's had to put up with me, and his perception of me as the Real Women Coach and the podcast host of Real Women Stories, because that's a big part of us moving over here, because I've created that so we can have, or I can have something to do when I was here, because I didn't want to stay in the corporate world and I wanted to create a new career for myself, especially a career that I feel I have a purpose with and that I love and I have a passion for. So, if you want to know more about me and my husband Adam and our little journey and how we've kind of dealt with the challenges with our relationship of moving over here and transitioning over here, and what that future looks like for us when we eventually are here full time, that why not stay tuned to Real Women's Stories. Sisters,